Reminder, you can find the audio version of this show on iTunes.
Mama, we made it.
What's up, everybody? We're back here, double coverage with Jason McCourty and my sidekick, Devin McCourty.
I'm not a sidekick.
This show's better than last week already because I got to open the show, so I'm excited. Dev talks a little bit too much, so
this is not like a Batman and Robin thing. It's like
it's
like the Avengers type of thing. You know what I mean?
I mean, Avengers wasn't really on like what we were gonna discuss today, but if it was Avengers,
like Captain America and Iron Man or something,
well, I'd like,
or I'd be Hulk or something.
Yeah, well, if I'm Captain America, I'm running the show. I call the brute strength.
No, we just call you Cap, but that doesn't. Oh, I haven't seen the new Avengers yet. It's probably a big delay.
No, I haven't either. I saw the new Incredibles though, and the new Transylvania 3.
Didn't see either one of those. I watched.
Take your kids to the movies.
I was just watching Secret Life of Pets upstairs though.
Awesome movie.
Daughter's favorite one. That and Sing.
Sing's awesome. Can you sing?
A little bit.
No, I don't think so.
A little bit.
Quick shout out to our partners though, Boston Medical Center, Next Step, and Embrace Kids Foundation. As you guys all know, we've come together to tackle sickle cell, and we're doing everything we can. More information at tacklesicklecell.org. We got something coming up too later on in the season. Games and casino night.
Oh, your first time in Boston.
First time, Monday, October 22nd.
Can you don't ruin it? It's an awesome night. Anybody?
Where is it at?
It's at Royale in Boston.
Okay.
Right off Tremont Street. Awesome night.
I mean, I've seen clips of it.
Yeah, but you haven't experienced it.
Yeah, I've heard about it.
Myself and Deron Harmon, we handled a live auction.
Well, dudes kicked to the curb this year, the live auction.
No, we can't just kick dude to the curb.
We all three can do it. That'll be awesome.
Dude might want to get out of it. Dude's been pretty angry with people calling him a McCourty twin, so he might not want to join. But like you said, October 22nd, tacklesicklecell.org. More information there if you want to sponsor, if you want to just come hang out. We'll have so many cool prizes. I'll just go ahead and say Bill Belichick's signed hoodie has been very, very special.
Very
and that
popular.
Obviously in the Brady jersey.
Without a doubt. I mean, they gave away a locker this year.
That was...
As you guys know, double coverage with the McCourty twins. We'll be talking about football. We're talking about our lives, just behind the scenes of everything that we go through on, days at work, days off, a Tuesday, whatever the case may be. You can find this audio on iTunes. You can also find...
Mama, we made it!
You can find the video version on YouTube.
You can't just say you can get on iTunes. You got like that.
Just search double coverage with the McCourty twins.
Oh, that's YouTube. I'm sorry, I cut them off. The video's on YouTube.
The video's on YouTube.
Yeah, I cut you off. The
audio's on iTunes. Mama, we made it.
My bad.
Just search double coverage with McCourty twins, and we're there. So, Dev, I mean, what you got for me today? Should we start what's going on in group chat? What you got going on in your group chats? You got a lot of group chats going on?
I always got a lot of group chats going on. Probably the key group chat I have is with the wives. But I guess this probably hit all group chats.
Were you trying to get brownie points?
Why not? This topic hit all group chat stuff.
Wives. That's the most.
Didn't it? Look, right there. It hit all group chats.
It definitely did. Man, finished
09 class.
Yeah, definitely. Vontae Davis retirement at halftime. Fellow cornerback that got drafted in 2009. Myself in year 10. Vontae in the beginnings of year 10 decided that at halftime that was it. He was
before we dive into that. You coming into year 10 now. How exactly does the off season go? Like, is it? I'm definitely playing, no questions, get to training, do what I need to do. Obviously, this year was different. You got released / traded. So up in the air, like, let people know how it feels like going into year 10 playing the cornerback position. A lot of running, hard on your body. I don't know if everyone – I think people think as you play football, you just wake up or the season ends, you're like, all right, take time off or get right back. How exactly – does that go? You know, that's a very good point. You know, the ups and downs in this league, mentally, it's a lot going on. Just for myself, playing my first 8 years in Tennessee and then getting released late in the offseason, free agency was done. It was about 10 days before the draft, and that mystery of not knowing where you're going to be. There's probably been multiple times since
I was cut by Tennessee to this point where retirement has crossed my mind of just you're in a place financially where you're comfortable and you start to get older. You know you're not the same player you used to be. You still know I can definitely go out there and compete and I can go out there and make a difference. But at the same time, I'm not what I used to be. There's some other things that have going on in life that I may want to start to explore and see what's going on. And those thoughts take place. You know, at that time, I had been in Tennessee the whole time. Didn't know if I wanted to move. Didn't know if I wanted to worry about putting the kids in new school, having my wife get acclimated, then getting to Cleveland, just going through that whole process of now it's brand new teammates, a brand new area.
And coming off a 1-win season.
Yeah, you know, a lot of different factors. And you're going, I remember getting there the day we had to report for training camp, and I'm texting my wife like, I don't know if I want to do this. Like,
really?
It's just a different feeling. You
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah, it's different. I remember talking to a guy I played with, Michael Griffin. We played together in Tennessee for 7 years, and the year before he had been released in Tennessee, and he went through that process of he signed with Minnesota and ended up in Carolina and playing his last season there in Carolina. And I remember he said to me, as long as we played for Tennessee, no matter what team you go to, you'll never feel like you're one of them. You'll never feel like, hey, I'm a Cleveland Brown, or
So
hey, I'm a New England
Do you not
Patriot.
feel like you're a Patriot?
No, I'm a Patriot, man.
Okay,
I'm
dang,
definitely a
you
Patriot.
almost lost us. We almost kicked you off the show there.
Nah, you know, but from a mental aspect, and a lot goes through it. And I think probably for a guy like Vontae, there's all sides of the situation. You know, as a player, I think your initial reaction is you see it and you get out the game. You're like, man, he really retired at halftime.
Yeah.
And it's just like you got your teammates, you got everybody that's counting on you, you're counting on them. And it's just like in the middle of the game, it's tough. And I think me and Melissa, my wife, talked about it a lot yesterday. And
I mean, we talked about it over dinner.
yeah, we had a little double date last night.
So I think, and you know, I think that's very interesting to just see that. I think both of us knowing Lorenzo Alexander and seeing his comments after the game, to me, it's just a tough situation. It's kind of like no winners from either side, just because you know how much time and effort goes in for everybody, all teammates, even Vontae. I mean, he put time and effort to be there. So it was very interesting, I think, over the last day and a half now, just seeing everyone's reactions on TV shows, podcasts, radio, everyone talking about it. But I do think that, I mean, like you said, you're not the same guy you used to be. I think he was 30. I mean, we're 31. So all that goes through your head. And I thought your wife had a good point. You never know what someone's going through of trying to play this game. So even, you know, he probably came out maybe feeling good Sunday, and then you go out there and I thought it was interesting hearing Shannon Sharpe said maybe it is better. Maybe you don't want a guy on the sideline that doesn't want to be there. So many different sides to this story. It's like you can't really figure out. But I do think people can have strong opinions on this one, though.
Without a doubt. And like you said, you know, all that goes into the game in the NFL from a mental standpoint of he was inactive the first week of just what's next. And I think I listened to somebody who was talking about just what has transpired for him over the last year. You know, he was in Indianapolis where he played some really, really good football. I remember seeing him twice a year in that division, Pro Bowl
14 and 15, I believe.
Yeah, Pro Bowl cornerback in our league, and ends up getting injured and gets released. And I remember watching him last year in Indy, and you can tell like he was hurt. He was out there and he was just trying to compete for his guys. And then you get released and you sign in Buffalo, and you're still coming off that injury, and probably throughout the spring it doesn't really ramp up for us, and probably throughout training camp as a 10-year vet of just coming back off that injury, probably easing him back into the flow of things. And then next thing you know, the season starts and you're inactive game one. He probably can't remember the
last time he
was ever inactive as a healthy player.
But that goes, even I listened to Joe Thomas on his podcast where he talked about, you know, the first time he kind of sat down on his couch and he just watched football. And just talking about why he retired, he said he just didn't feel like he could practice anymore. He couldn't play anymore physically. He just felt like he didn't have it. Like he couldn't go out there and do what he's done his whole career that goes into preparing. I think sometimes people think that means only playing in the game, but each guy's different. You know, what they do to prepare in the off season, during the season, on a Tuesday to off day. So every guy's different, and he said he felt like that the norms that he did, he could no longer do. And he said he didn't want to go play the game knowing he couldn't do what he usually does to prepare and play in the game. And I think you got to respect that.
Yeah, without a doubt. And I mean, you got to give him some courage. You know, you got to give him some credit for that.
Yeah.
The courage of doing it at halftime. I think.
How would you do it at halftime? What would you would you take off the pads as the team running out, dap everybody up like, man, I'm done?
Well, you can't.
Would you how would you do it?
You can't dap everybody up.
What you mean? He's still those his guys.
Yeah, but I mean, there's going to be guys that's sitting in that locker room. They're not trying to hear that. We got a game that we going out there and competing.
So you're not the dap up type.
I mean,
you gonna break it down?
If you're going out at halftime, that's one of them things you've ever seen that meme in The Simpsons where he just fades back into the bushes as the bushes close. That's one of them cases where you just kind of fade into the dark and you just get up out of there. But I think, I mean, as you read kind of the stuff he said, and I think some people will look at it and say, like, why not just finish the season? Why not just get paid and just finish it out?
Because that is an argument. I mean, he could have just kept getting. I don't know what he was making this year.
Could have just kept getting paid.
Could have got his salary.
Not really
could have made up an injury. He could have did anything.
But I think when you think about it, how hard is a Wednesday for you going into work? You going in the morning and the meetings of preparing for the upcoming opponent. This week we have Detroit, and we'll start at 7:45, and from 8 o'clock until 1 o'clock. Is all meetings of talking about every single thing.
Shannon Sharpe said that he only retired because he didn't want to go to meetings anymore.
And it's like you think about that grind of what it takes every week, and it's just like you look at him. If you didn't have it anymore, the stuff that you're sacrificing, he talked about, to be able to just say, I'm just going to go to work. I'm just going to go make money. And I know the argument can be brought up that there's a lot of people out there that are just working to make ends meet and they don't like their jobs, but you have a family to support. And I think in his case, he's been blessed that he's made a lot of money playing this game, and he's fortunate enough that he has a decision where financially he can support his family. So just from a mental and spiritual standpoint, do I want to continue to play this game? And obviously, you know, he didn't. I think as a player in this league, I would have liked to see him finish that game. I think even for himself, I think you come in there at halftime and you go through that realization, you're just like, I can't run with these boys out here no more. Yeah. You know, I'm 30. We got 23-year-olds running circles around me. I can't do it anymore, of just looking in that locker room, taking in that atmosphere and saying to yourself, like, it's probably the last time I'm going to be in this locker room. It's the last time I'm about to go on the sideline for halftime. Let me just go enjoy it.
Yeah, that's tough. I mean, I think we talked about that for a long time, just how do you go about that? And like I said earlier, there's no right way. But I do think you can't really go out there half-stepping. I mean, I get your point.
That's how injuries happen.
You know, I get your and then just finish the game. But I think that's very said than done.
Good point.
It's very tough, I think, for a player to go out there and just say, you know, I'll make it through. I'll try hard. I'll fight. I think that's something that sounds good as we sit here and we say it. But I think every game you've played and you've probably been fully into it and enjoyed it. And you know, like, I got to do this. Like, this is what I love to do. And I think for him, just wasn't there. And you got to respect it. You got to move on. But I think that is tough if you play in Buffalo. You know, you come out, you're in a game, you're losing your second game so far, and maybe
I don't think they had that many corners active either.
Yeah, it's a very tough situation. But as I've seen before, adversity, any team, any type of adversity, sometimes pulls you together. Hopefully, they're not rocking on all cylinders when we play them twice a year this year. So
there's one thing about this league, though. It doesn't stop for anybody.
Yeah, very true. That game didn't stop at halftime, huh?
Yeah, you know, they release you, cut you, trade you, whatever the case may be, and don't blink or stop to think about it.
But the one thing I will say, I hope people do remember Vontae, you know what I mean, as a player, what he's done in the league. Playing 10 years in this league is not easy.
Really
so
good NFL
to do that, I think is he accomplished something that's not easy. And then obviously coming in as a brother, older brother, Vernon, who's obviously had a great career as a tight end. But I think that's tough. Hopefully people don't remember him by just this single act.
Not only good player, he's a good person too.
Yeah,
good
definitely.
Dude I've talked to a bunch of times. It made me actually think back to the Hard Knocks episode where they bring him in the office.
He'll always be legendary for that.
And
so
he gets traded.
I don't think this will overtake.
And mid-conversation was like, man, I got to call my grandma.
I don't think it'll overtake it.
But you know what? That was like a good look into how real that is.
Yeah, that's true. How do you react when you get... I don't know if he was cut or traded.
Was traded, but you're playing a team that drafted you. He's a higher, I think it was
25th.
Yeah, end of the first round draft pick. you're thinking I'm here for the next 10 years.
At least 5.
Yeah, and then next thing you know, you come into the office, have a meeting, and you're just thinking, all right, cool, let's see what's up. And it's just like, nah, we're sending you to Indianapolis. And I think that's just, you think about, we come into the league, you're 21, you may not be used to those type of adversity, those type of things. You've always had a mom, a grandma, a dad, an uncle, whoever,
a coach
that's been big in helping you make those decisions as far as when you go to school, where am I going to be living, where am I moving to, and then you get traded. You have no choice in that. When you get traded,
that's very true. You said tough decision, tough. How about Sunday? That was tough.
That was definitely tough. You know,
not our best showing. You know, I think it's always interesting. I think to play here now, my 9th year, you always know with playing here. Obviously, great atmosphere, a lot of wins, not just for the Patriots, but in the whole New England area. So every time you do lose a game, it is a big deal. I think it's because the high expectations, obviously the hype for this game was through the roof, a rematch of the AFC Championship. But I think it always lets you know and it humbles you like, hey, this is a 16-game season. You don't come to play and I won't say just come to play as far as mentally, but come to play well and go out there and execute. You'll lose in this league. And when you play a good team, you'll lose bad. And I think all of us as players probably feel like the score didn't even really indicate, you know, how we felt. You know, to me, it seemed like the score looked closer and really felt like they dominated the game. And we had some good spurts in there, but definitely not the way we wanted to go out there and play. I think for a tough conference game on the road against a very good football team.
No, I would definitely agree. You know, it was the elements of a road game. You know, going to Jacksonville, it was hot. I think I noted to myself, I'm always excited when you're playing in one of those stadiums where you're on the bus ride on your way to the game and you're looking out the window and everybody's out there tailgating. Because, you know, you've played at some places where it's not as ramped up. Some games are and some games are. And you're riding up and everybody's sticking their finger up to the bus. And that's always excited me. I think ever since college, when we used to play like Pitt and West Virginia, you'd always get that. And it's just like, there's road games in the NFL. Not every place you go to play in, but I think it'll be different for me this year. I think playing here, it's a situation where probably everywhere you go, you're going to get somebody sticking their finger up to you. And that always kind of, as I'm riding in, it always makes me laugh because it's just like you have that fan that's out there and they're rooting for their team. They're diehard.
They don't care about anything else.
And you don't even know who you're sticking your middle finger up to on the bus. You got to
love it. I mean, they're all searching for Brady. You know, sitting on bus 3 sometimes.
But the windows are tinted.
When we used to ride in the games, Brady sometimes would be in like the first or the second seat and I'd be up there too. And you could see people like middle fingers and they're like, oh, you know, you're going to lose. And then their eyes would see through the front window like, Tom Brady. And it would like, no more middle finger. It would be like, tapping somebody. Like, so as much as they would hate us, they would see him and then, or the best person who used to sit up there used to be Vince Wilfork. Because he used to be trying to like
intimidate
or like yell at people through the bus window. And I'm like, V, they can't hear you. But he would try to get a reaction out of people too. Or like sometimes we played in a tough road game and we won, and let's say it was a nail biter at the end. So like fans would be outside our bus angry as we're leaving. Vince would be in the front smiling ear to ear, waving as we leave. So like you said, always great. I've always enjoyed to see fans really into it for their team. I think I hate it when we go to away games and like sometimes they'll be like Brady, and I'm like, you know, it's cool for us on the road, but I'm like, man, you go to a game and, you know, I've been on
the other end of that.
You know, like mommy, people can't come here and say they're coming for us and then we're the other team. Mommy be like, get out of this section, go up there. So I do think when it's the home team, you got to ride for the home team. I mean, if you're going to cheer for the away team, don't cheer until like the end of the third quarter if it looks like the game's over. Then you can switch sides, get your new T-shirt.
That's true. What is the craziest stadium you've played in as far as away game? You know, taking Gillette out of it, but just going on the road.
I would say the loudest was Kansas City, 2014.
Arrowhead. That was a primetime game, right?
Yeah, Monday night. Killed us. But I would say on the regular, no matter what,
Seattle.
Buffalo.
Oh.
We go to Buffalo. Usually it's a 1 p.m. game, and it's like, oh, it's Buffalo. When we go
Bills
up there,
Mafia,
there
jumping on
is
tables.
Not one Patriot fan in sight. And I mean, they've thrown
Is it the atmosphere?
They've thrown sexual objects on the field.
But is it the atmosphere? You know, you go on Barstool Sports on like Instagram, and people are jumping off buses on tables.
I'm telling you, as you ride in, it's like they're all doing their own thing, grilling. And as they see the buses come in, it's like they turn around and mouthing
the internet thugs come out.
They are going crazy. It's almost like if they open the bus, Bills Mafia will come on our bus and try to beat all of us up before we can make it inside the locker room. So I've always said that one of the stadiums that people don't talk about, but I don't know if it's because it's the division game, but it's always been tough when we go there, is Buffalo. And I don't care what time we play them. It doesn't have to be Thursday night or Monday night or a prime time game. Like, they're ready to go. And they're trying to make sure they will their team to beat us. So I've always loved that rivalry.
Seattle's been always loud to me when we go there.
I've only played there once.
I never had a rivalry type game versus them, but I mean, it's just, with the 12, they do that. Yeah. It's just loud as all get out. I just remember yelling to my teammates on the sideline, trying to communicate what just happened. The Arrowhead is like that too. We played them in 2014. It was opening day. I had 2 interceptions that game too. We won that game.
No, we're not trying to stroll down memory lane.
Yeah, I know.
Would you say you're not the guy you used to be?
Yeah, you took the words I was just about to say.
We don't need to hear about 14.
Opened up the segment at 31. Sometimes you got to flash back to your cornerback days at 25. Sometimes you throw on a clip and be like, man, I was pretty good. You know what I mean? I'm still hanging in there, but I was pretty good. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to just do that. So, around the league, anything else going on?
Should we state the obvious?
You could give the
Patriot fans, I'm sure, are happy.
You give like the stone face, and we're just like, we're not talking about.
We don't know what happened.
Nah, but
I don't know. I'm on to Detroit.
Well, I'm going to be the interviewee. What do you think about adding a player with the talent of a guy like Josh Gordon to the Patriots?
I thought you were going to be the interviewee. Or you're the interviewer? Which one?
I'm the interviewer. I'm sorry.
All right. Because I thought I had to ask.
That's why you have a twin brother, to help you out, to pull you up when you're falling down, I push you forward when you're moving backwards.
The more you talk, the worse the show gets. So I think it'd be great. Obviously, an extremely talented guy. We played him in 13. I think he finished with over 100 yards, had an 80-yard touchdown.
That's all clips of you chasing on that play.
I was closing, but Buddy can run a little bit, so I didn't catch him, but I was running. Now he's like 26, I'm 31. It's flipped, so. But I think he'll definitely help us out. I think it's exciting. I know every time we get a player here, it's like a huge story, and then obviously with some of the things Josh Gordon has gone through, people will throw out all kind of things. So I'm excited to get him there. I know we have a great group of guys in the locker room, so I think that's always a plus. Even when you came in and you've been a captain before, you've been a leader. But I think even coming in our locker room, you see like we have great guys in there, and it's not to take anything away from you, but it's I'm always excited when we get guys in to see the type of men we have in our locker room, and how they carry themselves and all those things. So I think our locker room will be a great fit for him and help him out with whatever he needs. I think, as you learn, that's what it's all about for us, whether it's kids' birthday parties on weekends or just talking to each other about life and being husbands and fathers.
Yeah, I think that's very true. And obviously I got a chance to play in the same locker room with him last year, being in Cleveland. And for me, he showed up to work on time every day. Obviously, from a talent standpoint, I remember the first week he came back. He couldn't play that week, so he was a scout team receiver. We're getting ready to play Cincinnati, and that game I was matched up to follow A.J. Green around the field.
I've seen those clips.
Yeah, I remember I sent you a clip.
Good thing that wasn't the game.
They threw a fade up, and he caught the ball right on top of my helmet like it was nothing and kept it going. And like you said, an immensely talented guy, and he was a joy to be around last year. Just seemed like he was eager and ready to put the past behind him and move forward in his career. So it'll be exciting to see, what role he can carve out here. And I think he's just looking forward to playing football, an opportunity to play with some other talented players on offense. So I think that's the most important thing.
Some other talented players on offense.
Well, the GOAT, obviously. Do we have to mention him? Obviously, So I'm excited for him. I think he's a player that can help. And I think not only him, just you look across the league, like this happens all the time. Guys have to pick up, whether it's free agency, whether you're released, whether you're traded, you pick up from where you were and you go to another team and you have to get acclimated, you have to learn their new system, the whole nine. I mean, Khalil Mack had to go from did he think that he wasn't going to be playing in Oakland this season off the career that he's had? No, you think you're going to be there, the next thing you know, something happens.
Speaking of Khalil Mack, don't you where was the stats from group chat? Do you have that?
Oh man, you should. You're talking about what he's done now compared to what the Oakland Raiders have done so far in the season with his interception, his touchdown. I think he has, what does he have, 2 sacks? One sack?
I thought I had it right here, but no, I don't know where it is.
You don't prepare for this stuff. You're supposed to have just tabs.
They say this is the point of like a podcast why it's fun.
Just pulled up
because it's very informal. You let the people live what you hear. That's why we're like.
But I think a good point of just talking about is just like you see a guy like Khalil Mack that you end up on a team. You get drafted by Oakland and you do everything in your power.
Oh, I found it. Khalil Mack has 2 sacks. Oakland has 2 sacks. Khalil Mack has 2 forced fumbles. Oakland has 1. He has 1 interception. Oakland has 1 interception. He has a fumble recovery. They don't have a fumble recovery. He has 1 touchdown. They don't have a touchdown. Is this a big deal, though? Like, we know Khalil Mack was an animal. Like, I mean, it's not surprising.
No, I mean, it's not, but I think it's like when you see the stats, it's rough because it's just like he could be doing this for us. So it's just like if you're a guy in that locker room, it's just like, man.
Did Oakland win Sunday, though?
I have no idea.
Dang. Hold on. Let's Google that.
I don't believe so, though. But regardless of that, you're a guy in the locker room. He's a guy who's come in. He does things the right way. He plays good football on Sunday, and that equates to a team rewarding you with another contract. So when it doesn't happen,
you can't say regardless if they won. I mean, isn't that why we're playing?
Yeah, but that wasn't the topic at hand. That's you changing the subject. But it's just like you want to see a guy like that. Now, if you're on the team, you're like, if I do what I'm supposed to do, why am I not going to get paid? Why is it? Then you watch them go to a team like Chicago, and then they've been on primetime the last 2 weeks, so everybody's watching their games, and he's just dominating. You know what I mean?
They lost by 1 point to Denver.
Tough game, But maybe a strip sack, touchdown, interception, maybe that helps and it makes you win by a point. But that's one of the tough things of just dealing with that. It's just like, man, but at the end of the day, that's our business. Sometimes the guy gets paid, sometimes you got to go elsewhere. And I think the one cool thing is you make bonds, you make friendships, and in the off season you catch up with guys, you go on vacations, you train with guys, and you still continue to keep those bonds. But at the end of the day, you have to make decisions that are best for your family. The decision obviously was made for him of being traded, but able to get to that second contract is huge.
He looks happy though.
He does look happy. Who wouldn't be?
You know what we forgot to mention? Shout out Khalil Mack. I seen the thing that came out 2-star. So
they actually said
hopefully Khalil Mack sees this. Fellow 2-star guys. Well, he might have been 2.5. I was like a 1.5. They gave me the other half of the star.
They said that's kind of what happened to him. Buffalo was his only Division I scholarship.
Rutgers was my only Division I scholarship.
It could have been one of the situations like yours. You were 0 stars. Then when you committed to Rutgers,
so I'm saying
it automatically gave you 2 stars.
140. Let me just get 75. Just because our stories are similar. Why is it got to be about football?
Because that's what it's about.
Our stories are similar. Chicago, bring me in. I just want to bond with Khalil Mack. Give me half. That's all I need.
But at the same time, your story coming out of high school, I was more heavily recruited. It's not like
I'm sure me and Khalil Mack feel the same. Sometimes people don't know how to evaluate talent, and they make mistakes.
That's how I feel about the NFL draft. How I'm 203rd pick.
I think that was pretty accurate. I watched you in college. Some guys are just,
at 203rd pick, out of 202 players that got drafted before me, there's not a lot of them still playing. So
yeah, but that doesn't mean you wasn't drafting the right position.
About a year,
long lasting.
I think every year after the draft, they do like them articles where it's like they redo the first round of just like of how things played out.
Yeah, you didn't sneak into the first round.
This probably somewhere on the internet. You can Google it.
Was you in it? You don't forget that.
Without a doubt, I was in it.
From your rookie year, you started 3 games.
Well, maybe it wasn't. It was maybe after
like year 5.
Yeah, I think it might have been after like rookie after like your wave. You come in, your rookie.
I mean, there's some guys that got
contract.
some guys that didn't make it to said contract. I mean,
And there's a lot of guys drafted in the 200s that don't make it, period.
valid. But back to me and Khalil Mack, my long lost.
He doesn't know you.
My long lost twin brother. He went to Buffalo. I went to Rutgers. Back in the day, it would be really easy to say Rutgers would kill Buffalo. Rutgers plays Buffalo this weekend.
Khalil Mack didn't have a twin brother that got him into school, though.
Can you explain this false story to people?
So coming out,
I'll tell the people. Coming out, Greg Schiano, shout out Coach Schiano, defensive coordinator at Ohio State, was the head coach at Rutgers and made a terrible decision.
I was more heavily recruited coming out of high school.
Made a terrible decision and
Had Boston College, Rutgers. I had like maybe 5
he
schools.
offered Jason in October, which I was cool with, but he didn't offer me. Mistake one. And for some reason, just didn't see it. Didn't see the talent.
Didn't at all.
And Jay did whatever he did that year. I guess he had a decent year. Then he finished with like the highest yards per carry in school history. He's probably snapped by now. Graduated in 2005. Damn, that's a long time ago. And Schiano decided not to offer me, but then he said that I could go on the official visit. And that was pretty cool because
So I tagged you along on my
Boston
official
College
visit.
came to a house visit, and they said I couldn't even sit in the living room.
That was
So
Coach O'Brien, Tom
yeah,
O'Brien.
so I didn't forget that Coach O'Brien, and that's why
That was crazy though. That night he came to the house and you sat in the room.
I could have helped BC.
Yeah, without a
Dang.
doubt. Without a doubt.
Anyway, back to the story. I can't diss Boston College because until Rutgers gets back on the winning streak, I need some wins. So Boston College is 2-0 right now. So shout out to BC Eagles. But anyway, now Rutgers, we coming back. Buffalo, beating Buffalo this week will be big. I guess it's an upset too. We're underdogs. I keep digressing.
We're gonna be an underdog in every game the rest of the season. Just lost to Kansas.
Let me get back to my story. So Rutgers decides to bring me in on an official visit, and I go sit down with Schiano Sunday, last day of the official visit, and he says, we want to offer you a scholarship. So I leave like, I'm telling my mom, I ain't going there. They didn't want to offer me. I said, that didn't even feel real.
They only offered. He was upset that he felt they only offered him to try to convince me to
Which
commit
was silly
to the
because
school.
I was better. So my mom told me, she said, sometimes you got to go and get in how you get in and then show them
what you do
got.
from there is on you.
So then another mistake was made because they started me out as 6-team safety. And
6 string?
Yeah, I was 6 string.
And I remember our DB room, you had to sit in rows.
Yeah, I was all the way in the back.
You couldn't even see the picture. You couldn't even see the dry erase board.
We get the
back
picture.
there.
We get the picture.
Okay.
And he ends up playing a little bit and go to show you Rutgers winning season, first bowl game since like 76, but they lose. I didn't play a snap all season. Fast forward to the next year, I play as a redshirt freshman, 2 interceptions.
You weren't playing. Remember, you were about to transfer that year.
Yeah, you know how everybody plays. Someone had to get hurt. You sprained your ankle.
I'm just saying.
I didn't take your spot. I took somebody else's.
I'm just saying in general that training camp going
There was
through
a lot of bad coaching.
Yeah.
I know. We already said that.
You played really well that spring.
A lot of bad coaching while I wasn't playing, but then I got on the field. And then I think I won Sporting News. I might have only been an honorable mention, freshman All-American.
Yeah, something like that.
But I was a little advanced because I was a redshirt. So, but I'll take how you get it.
Nah, you played. You did your thing.
It was a big deal, you know. And then you fast forward a couple years later, Devin McCourty.
I shouldn't have redshirted.
Devin McCourty, 1st-round pick. Jason McCourty, 6th-round pick. Safe to say.
I should have redshirted.
Safe to say, bad coaching equals following stars. Great coaching sometimes just smacks you in the face.
Yeah.
As Bill would say, players win games, coaches lose them.
That all sounds good, but who won this
I
weekend?
took over that segment.
Who
That was a
won
good
this
job.
weekend?
Not us.
Who won the weekend?
Oh, Fitz Magic.
Do not call him Fitzpatrick. He is now considered Fitz Magic. I got a chance to play with Fitz down in Tennessee. Awesome guy, man. Just his passion for the game, how he approached practice every day. He just had a lot of fun.
Side note. You know your phone doesn't pick up on my face for face recognition? All right, go ahead. Just side note.
You can't mention Fitz Magic right now without his post-game attire.
Fresh.
I mean,
I would say.
what do the young kids call it now? Drip?
Oh, it's drip.
Swag, drip, all that stuff.
He took all D-Jack's gear.
He did, but he's sporting it. A little Conor McGregor feel to it. Had the taco meat out with the chest hairs.
Taco meat right there,
man. But I mean,
he's doing it. Back-to-back weeks
does he have right now?
I'm not sure, but back-to-back weeks he was. And I've seen a lot of Fitzpatrick. I think we talked about him last week too, didn't we?
Yeah, he's winning weekends.
Dang. Let's talk about. All right, let's just say a couple names on air. So, we mentioned Fitzpatrick. He went and killed again.
Mm-hmm.
Who we want to throw out there? Let's throw.
We already mentioned Josh Gordon.
James White. James White. My dog, Jersey's finest, Chris Hogan. Just to throw it out there.
Yeah,
just in case we're like a good luck charm.
Yeah, Philip Dorsett, just to put some good stuff in the air.
I mean, we're going to need this too. How about Patriots defense?
Yeah, everybody.
All 11. We need that.
Who lost the weekend? Lynn Reading.
You need to read right from there.
A Texas superintendent posted his criticism of Deshaun Watson on the Houston Chronicle Facebook page after the Texans lost to the Tennessee Titans on Sunday. That may have been the most inept
quote.
That may have been the most inept quarterback decision I've ever seen in the NFL, he said of the former Clemson star. When you need precision decision makings, you can't count on a black quarterback.
Ouch.
And I think they said his intent was to, I guess, send this as a message or something.
Has he been fired yet?
I don't know. Or something on Facebook and accidentally posted it to the public. You talk about just a bad day. And I'm assuming on Sundays he's off. I'm just gonna take that assumption. On a Sunday afternoon, he doesn't have to be at work. School superintendent, kids aren't in school on Sundays. He's at home. He's catching a little Houston Texans football.
His favorite team, probably.
Without a doubt. He's from Texas. He's watching them. And he's rooting for those guys. And I think the last play of the game, Deshaun Watson throws the ball to Hopkins, and he's tackled inbounds.
No time.
Time runs out. Game's over. He's devastated.
Hey, when that happens, I guess they say now, blame the black quarterback.
You ever seen the movie Friday?
Yeah. He got fired. He gonna get fired on his day off.
Get fired on his day off because of social media.
But then I read the article, but then he tried to say it wasn't a racial thing. He was merely going off the statistics that he has seen over the black quarterback through the history of the NFL.
So now he's the analytical guy.
He said he's just reading the stats, man. The guy's a superintendent. I'm sure he's used to going over the paperwork. He looks at all the files on the kids. I mean, I'm sure he just goes off the numbers, what he sees.
Well, I don't know what numbers he'll be going off next weekend, but he'll probably be watching the Houston Texans from a totally different approach that he had this weekend.
Breaking news on him.
But, I mean, these things happen, and it's amazing to me because last year Deshaun Watson, any Houston fan, was saying he's the MVP of the season. The guy, 0-2 right now, is really early in the season, but you lose a game and now he just can't make any of the right decisions. So it's just amazing to me.
They turn on you quick. What have you done for me lately?
What have you done for me lately? But it just goes, I mean, as NFL, it's just professional athletes in general. I love the show. I can't think of whose show it is, but it's a nighttime show where they have athletes come on and they're reading their mentions of different.
Is that Fallon or Kimmel?
I don't know.
I think it's Jimmy Kimmel.
And they're reading the tweets that they've gotten, and it's amazing. Like, even for us, you go on after you lose a game and you read stuff. I think somebody even said the McCory twins need to retire like Vontae Davis did. I actually got a chuckle out of that. I thought that was pretty clever, timing. You got to get people credit. You come up with something good like that.
Quite a bit of death threats in the New England secondary.
Yeah, that's you don't play well. That's what it boils down to. So,
did we see this though? What do you think my man Lynn did the next day? Today, what do you think he did?
He probably said he got hacked. That's what I would have did.
Nah,
one of my students hacked me.
I totally regret it. Why do we always get that? We can't post on social media and then apologize. It's too late.
It's too late. You meant it. You said it. Own it.
My dog Lynn, he just needs to get better at technology, man. When you want to send a private message, you can't send it to.
How many guys have gotten caught up with that?
Stop! Don't be sexist, man. How many men and women have got caught up? Screenshots, send a screenshot to the wrong person, text the wrong message.
Wanted to send a DM and you post it on the page.
I guarantee Lynn will be on the Breakfast Club tomorrow for Donkey of the Day. He's got to get it.
He better be at Apple and take a course. They do them classes where they teach you how to use stuff. They'll teach him how to use Facebook a little bit better.
They're not doing that. He should just call up Mark.
Good luck with that.
That was a good movie. What was the name of that movie again?
Facebook.
What was it called? Facebook?
Wow.
Oh, Mark Zuckerberg.
Off day duties. Today's Tuesday. Off day duties. What you did today?
Started at 7 a.m. I hate 7 a.m. wake up when we're off. Brutal.
Gotta drop the kids off daycare.
But I do like. Well, drop off's not fun though. I would rather just do pickup. But today's not bad. I sat on the back seat. We had a little Sesame Street on.
They say don't let them watch movies for drop off. It makes it harder. They're attached. They want to watch the TV.
You know what's brutal? My wife gave me no instructions for drop off.
Yeah, you pulled.
I pulled in the wrong way. Last time I went, I didn't have her bag that she needed.
Yeah, you need a little baggie.
I sat in the back seat with her, so she really went crazy when drop off.
But it's awesome. So like I drop off Monday and Tuesday because we don't have to go until later. So Monday is obviously just our oldest goes to kindergarten, Liana. So all the kids, I take them all and we all do drop off. So my youngest Kai does daycare there with your oldest Lo 2 days a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays. So Monday's not her day to go. So obviously she's one. She doesn't know the days of the week. She doesn't understand it. So she's in the car. She's watching the movie. She's having a good time.
I thought you said don't let them watch a movie.
Yeah, I know, but I was telling you that. That's what they tell you. But they unlock the door and they come in and they take the kids out the car, which is awesome. Dropping them off in the class a lot harder. I've been down that road. So they come and they get my oldest and my youngest, and she's smiling, she's dancing, she's just having a great time. So this morning we go and she's smiling, and as soon as they unbuckle her car seat, she just loses, she just goes crazy. Mama, Dad, as if somebody's just taking her away from
Lo
us.
didn't cry. She didn't cry that bad. She just had a little tears. When I pulled up, because I had a white truck, you have a white truck, I think they thought I was your wife.
That you were my wife?
Yeah, from the car.
But you
came and talked to me about the daycare snacks. She was, I thought you.
She said they had to get used to Tuesdays where we're going to be doing drop offs. So
yeah,
that's good to know you do drop offs on your day off.
I mean, I was in there. Drop off, pick up was happy. She almost ran out of teacher's hand.
Days off are a struggle. Because I feel like my day off, I want to relax.
You're so dramatic.
I want to rest. But I feel like my wife thinks Tuesdays are her days off, and it's like her day to relax and me do everything. But then I don't get a day off.
Go do something.
What do you mean?
Have fun.
No, I wanted to sleep.
See, I did drop off, came home, watched some film.
We had swim class today,
grabbed breakfast, and then pick up straight to swim class.
Well, infant survival class is what they call it.
Not something that you like, that you would enjoy watching.
Little man Caden, he's rocking it.
But I'm just saying, for the average person, it doesn't look like infant survival. It looks like
what? You have to see them jump in the water and float to their back. You cannot float. You cannot.
They look like they're about to kill those kids. The kids are screaming. I'm just saying, it doesn't look nice.
Kai is brutal.
I'm just saying, even the people when we went in the water,
and she is just screaming. Rough. But Caden jumps in and you want to jump. Yeah, you ready to get up? No, he want to keep going.
I just said it's a great class.
I guarantee you, he can float longer than you can on your back. He floats in the bathtub.
He doesn't float in the bathtub. Bro.
He does.
What kind of bathtub you got?
Little one, but he's only
your bathtub's that big?
I mean, if you scale everything down,
relatively, I
exactly.
Got you. He doesn't float in the tub though. I would bet push-ups that he doesn't float in the tub.
Come over. Right when we're done with this podcast, it'll probably be around bath time.
I'm busy. I don't have time to hang out with you after this too.
So your Tuesday, you don't feel like your wife sometimes tries to take advantage of your off day?
Because the difference between me and you is what?
I forgot. You don't run your house.
I run my house. You run around it. That's why you try. I mean, every time I call you on the off day, you're asleep taking a nap. So how could you complain?
You know what was cool though? Last week, Thursday, we went to couples Bible study. Great atmosphere. I enjoyed that. That was one of the better studies I've had as far as couples.
New England's changed your life, man.
It's been a good experience so far. What's the guy's name that run him and his wife Virginia, and he's Paul. They were really good. We did exercise where it was just like communicating, and there was a rope, and you're pulling the rope, and the husband's on one end, the wife's on the other end, and you're pulling the rope, and everybody's trying to get their point across. The specifics that we talked about, we won't get into. There's kids that watch the podcast as well, probably, but it was just amazing to see the illustration and just to talk about it. You know, obviously, a Thursday night, you go to a little study. It's a little husband-wife time to continue to build just some stuff that you do outside the facility.
Part 2 of date night.
Part 2 of date night.
So sometimes date night comes Monday, sometimes it comes Friday. We did date night the other day on Monday night. Mm-hmm. Then we also did date night Friday night too. We got to see my man Ed
Who?
Ed.
Ed Sheeran.
Ed
Sheeran.
I think it's Sheeran.
Sorry.
Awesome. Sang his butt off. So that was fun.
We get any questions?
Do we have any questions?
Yeah, fan questions.
You just interrupted as I'm talking.
Because like you said, the more you talk, the worse the podcast ends up. Oh, where's your favorite place to eat in Boston?
That'll be your job. You read their names. They wrote the question and took the time.
Aaron Reeves asks, what is your favorite place to eat in Boston?
So, favorite place. I don't have place. I have places. Del Frisco's, Aria, all the Stregas, Mastro's. Those are probably my top.
This isn't restaurant week.
My top.
Aaron simply asked, what is your favorite
You don't even
place?
have any favorites, so I might as well dominate this section.
Place was not plural. There's
what
no
else is
there's
there?
no S in that. What is your favorite place? You named 6. We were good with 1. So we appreciate your contribution to what your favorite place to eat is. My favorite place I would say to eat is at my home. When my wife cooks, it is usually a delightful meal.
Wow, you're a place. You live in Boston? Because I think her place says eat in Boston.
Really the Boston area, surrounding cities and towns. We have
I wouldn't call Foxborough surrounding. That's like 35 minutes.
Do you have any more questions?
Yeah, you actually. Oh, these are. Hey, Kathy and Joey, I know them. Kathy and Joey, shout out Kathy and Joey. They were at Hightowers event.
Who wears the
Monday Night
green dot
Football.
on the helmet and calls the plays?
Green dot switches. I know on offense. Green dot on defense is sometimes High, sometimes Van Noy, and sometimes Bentley. So all of them kind of take turns with the helmet. Hey, side note, we got a text message. I don't know if he asked any questions, but did you see that? Kyle Van Noy wanted to start some trouble, but he didn't actually send any questions in, I don't think.
He did request to get on the podcast, though.
I guess we'll have the people tweet us and let us know if you want to see Kyle Van Noy on our podcast.
Who they would like to see. He said that I'm more likely to let him on the podcast than you are. That's a big debate that goes on in the locker room, though.
Can we stick to the questions?
Who is their favorite twin? Because I let Deron Harmon borrow some headphones on the plane this past Saturday.
So think about that.
He clearly told me that I was his favorite.
I was standing right there, and he said, Dev, I told you. I mean, you cool, but Jay, you let him borrow. They're using you. You let him borrow headphones, and he said he likes you.
That's a stretch.
Come on, that's like the guy on Second Date Update today on the radio.
96.9.
Yeah, he did her landscaping. Of course, she went out with him for a couple of days. He did her landscaping and gave her a discount.
Stop calling.
Yeah,
that's terrible.
But he planted a tree. He took up a tree or something like that. It was kind of. Gary Smith asks, Jason, what's been the biggest surprise about joining the Patriots? Make this quick, because I'm tired of talking about you and the Patriots.
The biggest surprise, I would say it would have to be with Ted, our nutritionist in the cafeteria. Food is really good.
Tedrick.
Yeah, the food is really good. So I think that's been my biggest surprise. I don't think anybody's expecting.
So are you gaining weight?
I'm maintaining weight. I'm where I need to be.
That's good. Moving on, because like I said, we don't want to hear you talk about that. Another New England question, though. Alonzo asks.
I try to steer away from football.
Yeah, you probably want to stay away from this. This is kind of like on the Bill Belichick no. What are the differences in culture between Cleveland and New England? How could that help? Can I call him JG or should I just call him Josh Gordon?
You ever met him?
No.
I think you should stick by his government.
Okay. How could that help JG?
I think Bill said you never compare.
This guy's listening. This guy.
We'll see when he gets here.
We got to get her on our team. Pat Capper forgot the D in double coverage. We'll get on him about that. What show that's what they be doing on our when we go on quick slants. Tom Curran always blames Robbie or Nate whenever something's messed up.
Yeah, so that's what is fun.
That's what we got to do, though. We got to act like we're so in tune and focused and all this.
But we need earpieces, though, so we can blame the producers in the back.
I call it earpiece.
What is it called?
I can't think right now.
Where does it go?
It goes in your ear, but it's not called an earpiece.
You wear the earpiece, and it's I got you.
I guess it is an earpiece.
What'd you say? All right, cool. Ask Dev this question. He said, instead, let me tell Dev.
Shout out Melvin Gordon for winning NFLPA Community MVP
for week 1.
Yeah, week 1.
What did he do?
Let's just read this so the people know, because
what did he do?
I feel like a lot of people always miss out on the good things in the community.
What did he do?
See as a football player. Melvin Gordon. I think I said Ingram. I meant Melvin Gordon and several of his Charger teammates.
Reading is fundamental.
More than 1,000 volunteers donated 250 Is that 1,000? That's a lot. Non-perishable meals were packed and distributed to feed those in need across the greater Los Angeles area. The program was one of 4 meal packing initiatives that took place across the country on 9/11 Day, an annual moment when the nation joins together in service to honor victims in the tragic day 17 years ago.
That's awesome. That is.
That's twin.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
That's really good, man. That's really good. Things. A lot of people in this league do a lot of things.
We gotta push that out. I got that notice to my email, but it was like a little email. We gotta get that out.
Start to get people to see those things. There's probably a lot of people out there that want to help and get involved in things of that nature. Though.
All the players should retweet the NFLPA when they tweet that.
Yeah, they should. And all the players should probably.
I think you should get that going.
They should retweet when we tweet about our podcast too.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more.
Shameless plug. Yeah, Reminder, you can find the audio version of this show on iTunes.
Mama, we made it!
As well as the video.
Every time you say iTunes, I gotta say, Mama, we made it!
As well as the video episodes on YouTube.
Nah, I mean...
What? You don't think we made it as far as YouTube?
I mean, we did.
Just search double coverage with the McCourty twins. Subscribe.
He said that. He said that many times. It was in red. Good job.
Both places you'll be notified every time we post a new episode. But YouTube, you ever seen Ryan's Toys review?
Yes, I heard he's like making.
I think he made $11 million.
Over here banging our heads, and this kid's killing it.
$11 million.
Opening toys and reviewing.
My kids love it.
Shout out Ryan. You think we could get him on? I don't think we could afford him.
Yeah, not if he made $11 million.
Yeah, we can't afford him.
Made more than both of us put
together. Thank you to our partners.
Boston Medical Center.
Next Step.
Embrace Kids Foundation. We're all joined together.
Tackle Sickle Cell. Casino Night.
Definitely coming up.
Casino Night.
October 22nd, a Monday night.
7 p.m.
Royale, Boston.
Great prizes.
Come out. We'll have a good time.
Great people. Oh, you get to hear a great story about usually a young either kid or adult that's going through transitions or different things in their life and dealing with sickle cell. Definitely. Oh, shout out Tyrod Taylor. I seen he was doing something with sickle cell.
And posted the tag with sickle
people
cell.
Trying to connect us on Twitter.
We got a link with him. Figure out something. I did a comedy event last year benefiting sickle cell.
Lynn would tell us not to work with Tyrod Taylor because he's a black quarterback. But I'm down.
Lynn's voice won't be heard after this weekend, though.
So as we sign off, let's all give a big bye-bye to Lynn.
Yeah, see ya.
Bye, Lynn.
Have a good one. Enjoy.
I don't know what you'll do next, Lynn, but
thank you guys for tuning in to Double Coverage with the McCourty twins.
The more spectacular Devin, inferior Jason.
Coming from Dev's basement. We forgot to mention that this time.
Should we get that right there?
Dev's basement.
Dev's basement.
That's where we're at.
So they know.
Have a good one.